Hey, Kelly,
Yeah, Letty.
remember that time you were so proud of yourself for giving 70%?
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Good, good.
I wanted to kind of start off a little bit by
Welcome to
saying,
WTH.
yeah, that's what I was going to say because I wasn't already in my own thoughts somewhere else. Welcome to,
WTH ADHD.
yeah, that's the show we're on.
What the hell?
So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my thoughts that I was already thinking about.
I noticed.
And I wrote them down
Oh, thank God.
because these thoughts happened a while ago and I knew I wasn't going to remember.
Oh, good.
Do you remember that when we talked about how I forget to take my pills?
Yes.
So I was like, why? Really, why? And so I did that thing, reflecting
Oh,
that we talked about when you
Yes.
kind of reflect and dig a little deeper and like, how can this be? So I figured it out. And what I wrote down is I can't remember if I took my pills or not. And it happens when I'm not present or mindful. And I'm thinking about a bunch of other things.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm.
So I wrote there, I almost did it again, but kept like giving myself the cue to like be present. And so it says, I also altered the task slightly to prevent autopilot brain
I love that you have a hard time reading your own
jumping
words.
ahead in the pattern. Oh my God, because I was writing so fast. My thoughts was like so rapid.
Uh-huh.
So I changed something. I brushed my teeth and must have taken meds next already. Oh my God, I don't even know what I wrote. And then I stopped writing. This is my brain figuring stuff out.
If you were sitting where I was sitting,
So-
watching her just try to work that out was just brilliant. We need to film an
I
episode
think-
once.
I think
so someone can see that.
I think I changed something in my routine that was supposed to help me.
But you don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was. And I think I'm supposed to be really present. So I'm not thinking about other things, which I do because once I'm brushing my teeth, I'm in La La Land. And I'm supposed to take my meds after. Once I'm already in La La Land.
Here's the thing. You shouldn't.
Maybe I'm brushing my teeth really horribly too because I'm not even thinking about how I'm brushing my teeth.
Here's the thing, though. You should never take your pills after you brush your teeth.
I do.
Ever.
Why?
Because you shouldn't do anything to your mouth
Oh.
after you brush your teeth for at least 30 minutes.
I rinse my
That's
mouth
it.
out.
Yeah.
I take my meds and then I drink black coffee to put
That's wise.
tint on my teeth back that I just nicely brushed off. But then
I'm sorry.
it's okay. You can laugh at me. I do
God.
brush again before I put my retainer thingamajig or Invisalign on. So I don't sit in coffee teeth all day. But no, that's my routine. Because if it's not in my routine, I will 100% not remember to take it. And I can't take it late in the day.
Well, that's why I.
Oh my God. That's why what, Kelly?
That's why I always, like at night,
Uh-huh.
before I brush my teeth, in my head, I have had it stuck in my head. You cannot take any pills after you brush your teeth.
Right. So I'm like,
So
okay,
I have to take
great.
them
I'm
now.
all done.
So
Bye.
I take them before I brush my teeth.
No, because my mouth is gross. And I
You
first
take your pills? You
Look.
care what's in your
That's
mouth?
just like
just to-
TMI right here. I pee first.
In
then
your mouth? I don't know what's going on.
this
I
is
thought we were
this is not
talking
that kind of
about pills.
podcast, Kelly. That's a different podcast.
Wait a minute.
Please join us at 11:30 when we discuss peeing in your mouth in the morning.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know why he went there.
Why are we here?
Why
Seriously.
did you go there? That was
Why
unnecessary.
are we here?
Look,
Claudio.
listen, Linda. Look, I pee first. I wash my hands And then I wash my eyes. I wipe my face so that I can wake up. And then I brush my teeth and take my meds. And no one else needs to listen to this any longer.
No. Okay. So how does this relate to being a 70%er versus a 110%er?
So
Can you bring this all back around, please?
I can bring it
'Cause
around.
I'm trying to figure it out.
So we had this discussion the other day about Kelly like painting a glass door that had all these little panels in it. And it's a really great story. And it brought me back to the bakery days too, where I think most of our conflicts came around me being late and me looking at your work in utter disgust and giving you shit face, trying
And
to
me
figure
looking
out
at your work
why.
going, woman, it's fine.
Why you
Stop
couldn't
it.
see how off center, crooked,
No. And
all the things were. And I would just be baffled, and it would make me so angry that we would be putting out this product that was less than 100%
no,
amazing
less
from
than
the inside out.
110%.
Less than 110%. Let's just put it out there. And so it kind of like brought this conversation up between us where you went and did this project that typically you would be operating at about a 70% and being super proud of yourself, and you went 110%. You blue taped all the panels. I think you said you got like 20 pieces of tape, and you paneled this window door thing to paint without having it be messy, so that when your also ADHD 110%er husband looked at it, he wouldn't be bothered by these little lines. And you went ahead and did it, and that you felt so proud of yourself, and that you've never experienced this level of perfectionism.
Ever. I am literally a 70%er. I do things at 70%.
Look at how I'm holding my pen.
I know.
It like bothers me on the inside. What is wrong with me?
70%. And I have not a competitive bone in my body. Zero competition, period. It is not in my nature at all.
I had thoughts on this. I thought about this for a long time.
I would love to hear your thoughts because I think I'm a 70%er because I don't want to be criticized.
But it's a given at 70%. What are you talking about?
For me, if I'm okay with it at 70%.
Are you though?
Oh, I mean, really, no, but that's about all I can do. I think that's really all I can give. Or that's what I thought I could give.
I can give so much more, Kelly.
Well, I know that.
And we can talk about that on our podcast at 11:30 at night.
Well, okay. But I know that the being a 70%er and not having a competitive bone on my body do go together. I know there's some underlying thing for that.
What motivates you to get the task done to begin with, other than perfectionism?
Just that it has to get done one way or another.
But it's like either not done or it's done perfectly. Like you don't.
Not for me, though.
No, there's no. It's all or nothing.
No, but I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
And I don't understand how you operate like that, which is amazing, because I think we're going to unpack this. We're going to unpack this.
Because I'm setting myself up for disappointment.
Or you think that your prior patterns have always been kind of a disappointment thing. So you have to tell yourself that disappointment is okay in order to cope with it, so that you don't get that rejection, dysphoria thing. And therefore, you're actually willingly and you mean to do 70%. Yes. So therefore, that's what you meant. So no, I meant to do that.
Yep.
Like when you fuck up, you're like, no, I meant to do that.
But not like, what's so funny is
I meant to paint my nails like that.
There's sprinkles of things or doing things where I know that I like them and I do it at 100%.
What do you sprinkle?
Fairy dust mixed with keef. I'm just kidding.
What is keef?
You don't know what? Okay, well, that's for 12:30 a.m.
I look forward to it. I'm taking show notes, very special show notes on what we're going to cover on that episode.
What did I just say?
Keef.
No.
You said keef. Sprinkling keef. Not to be confused with Keith.
Who's Keith?
We don't sprinkle Keith. At 11:30 we do.
Okay.
Wow,
This is
today's just,
a weird turn,
yeah,
but fun.
I know. I kind of like it.
I'm
I'm
looking
curious.
forward to this other
Yeah.
podcast
We're
that
gonna
we're
have to
going to
name it.
do. Uh,
That could be the name of the podcast. Sprinkling Keith.
wow, Keith is lucky. So,
Dear
okay.
Keith, write us if you
I
want to be. No, don't write us. Please
please.
don't write us. If you're Keith.
Okay. What did we're at 70%. And I'm okay with it because
Because
what did I just
you
say?
sometimes sprinkle in 100% somewhere.
Yeah, in things that I
Like
guess
what?
I don't know. I'd have to like now start thinking about it.
Well, what makes you think that you do that and
I
then
don't
not
know.
do it on
Maybe I
purpose?
don't. I mean, like, so like
I can
in
tell you.
work,
I can
I'm a
tell
hard
you.
worker.
I can tell you where you're 100%.
Okay.
You can clean the fuck out of anything.
Uh-huh.
Like that, you clean like
Sure.
nobody else's business. That's 100%.
Okay.
And you do it like methodically and fast. And it's like it gets done. Like you see a giant triple sink of buttercream, chocolate, caramel, sticky sink that is like piled as tall as you are. I look at it and I say, well, here's a match. Bye. And you go, okay. And you turn on that water and somehow I turn and of course I don't see time. And those are done like
I still do that to
beautifully.
this day. Like yesterday I had to do the dishes and Claudio cooked, and when he cooked, that's my husband, he
Oh, does he
makes a
cook?
mess, flippin' mess. I like to clean while I cook so I don't have a mess at the end.
You taught me to be better at that.
Yeah.
I used to
It's
be
just-
okay,
it's
but
yeah,
baking,
it's a lot easier in life if you clean while you cook. So I saw this gigantic pile in both sinks up on the side, and I stared at it, and it gave me agita for about 15 seconds.
oh yeah, you can miss.
Yeah, because it wasn't very long, and then all of a sudden I just opened up the fucking washing machine, and literally 5 minutes later it was done.
So let me ask you this question because
What?
ADHD mind people want to know.
Mm-hmm.
The art of the start is like one of the biggest executive function issues for many tasks. For those of us struggling with ADHD paralysis, what was the thought that really allowed you to start that task?
Because I started reminding myself
Mm-hmm.
that it really doesn't take that long. And I think I have to do
How do you know that?
because I am looking at my past and how long it actually takes. And I'm starting to identify now where I'm putting off doing things because I feel like they're going to take a long time. But then I go, okay, have I done this before? Yes. How long did it take me then? Okay, Kelly, start. Because I know it's not gonna take me long, but I'm 51, diagnosed
5150.
7 months ago.
It'll be us in a few months. You'll be 51. I'll be 50.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I was diagnosed 7 months ago, and I'm just starting to now, when I look at a large task, stopping to see if I've done it before, to allow myself to know that it really isn't going to take as long as my head is creating it.
That's a really good strategy.
Mhm.
I think maybe as you're talking, what I'm realizing is that the start might be more difficult for those of us who have a really strong time blindness. Because even though I've done that task before, I don't have a good gauge of how long it took me to do that task. Sometimes it'll feel like forever, and sometimes it'll feel like it took 3 seconds. So I don't have a good recall of how long a task takes me, which is why I'll often start tasks before I have to leave thinking it'll take me 3 seconds because I was only present for 3 seconds the last time I did it. And so I can't rely on that past experience of how long it takes you. Only thing I can rely on though is how good it felt to have gotten the task done. But that might not be enough of a motivator because it actually feels better to walk away from that mess.
I feel like you need to, the first step really is to just start recognizing when you're finally able to start a task and remembering how long it took. I think.
No. What helped me?
But I'm just saying in the
for you.
future.
It won't help me because I will not remember
Okay.
how long it takes. I
Right.
don't have that capacity.
I remember how long it takes, and then I go, God damn it, Kelly, just do it.
So what helps me is, like my favorite guru, Alan Watts. I listen to him. He's like the 70s, like Eastern philosophy guy that I love listening to. Well, he had this one episode about when you have this pile of dishes, there really is only one dish. And the reason for that is because you can only have one dish in your hand at a time that you can clean. So while you're looking at a pile of dishes, the washing of those dishes doesn't exist, all of those. You can only focus on one. And really, it's about being present, right? So I
Exactly.
try to approach dishes now with this mantra of there's only one dish and I pick one up. And once I've done that, I can actually get through it just fine.
Hmm.
That's what works for me so that I don't feel too overwhelmed with the task. I haven't gotten the mantra of there's only one sock to do my laundry that way because it can feel overwhelming. But for the dishes, that's what helps me because I just don't have this amazing thing of what you've got there of understanding how long a task takes. Now, I can turn around at the right time just before the oven beeps. Somehow there is an incredible internal clock inside my head that can tell the exact
Hmm.
time of day, but not while I'm operating a task because my mind is not there.
Interesting.
So 70%, 110%. So I had this thought about this perfectionism streak and why that might drive that 110% versus the non perfectionism streak, right?
Hmm.
And I think it has to maybe, and I'm not a doctor,
Hmm.
maybe it has to do with the fact that when we look at these ADHD types, there's differences in terms of attentiveness. And there's that categorization of inattentive versus hyperactive
Hmm.
versus, both, whatever the C is.
Whatever the C is.
Yeah, there's like I type, H type, and C combination. That's the word,
Okay.
combination, which is interesting too, because supposedly that's like 10 years ago that there's this type. Did you know that you can actually go through different types in different parts of your life where
Sure.
you
I
start out more
heard that.
hyperactive and then you tend
Hmm.
to go inattentive as an adult,
Hmm.
typically, but
Sounds
whatever.
about right.
Sounds right. So I think for me, I'm hyper vigilant, and you know this about me. Like everything is on equal level. I'm paying attention to all things, which means I attend to details of stuff. The angle that freaking spoon is in your cup behind you, like everything is calculated at all times.
And I don't.
And you don't. And I think that's where that comes from, where I'm just attending to every little fuzz thing line so much that I have to get it right.
Hmm.
And it's not that you don't care,
Mm-mm.
it's just I'm unable to not care about that little imperfection. And so, because I know I'm going to be doing whatever the task is to that 110%, and I know how long and difficult and exhausting that might be, I don't start it until I have figured out in my brain exactly
Hmm.
how that's going to go. And typically, once I actually accomplish that, that task gets done really fast. I mean, you've seen me put
Hmm.
together
Hmm.
cakes that should have taken
Hmm.
days. And I'll clean a room out amazingly or whatever it is really fast, and that's already because I've compiled it in my head. So I think that compounds that start for me.
I think for me, and what just came to my head right now as
What
you were
came to your
talking
head
about
just
it,
now, Kelly? Sorry.
I don't like to have eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I associate perfection with eyes on you, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
That's your perception of that.
Yes. And
I don't like eyes on me either. And I
yes,
actually
you
have a hard time
do.
doing tasks when there's someone there. Like, for example, let's say like I know I need to clean something. I want nobody home because I have my method and I'm running around like a crazy person and I don't want anybody looking at that. Also, I'll start attending to that person. Whatever they're doing might influence my ability to
Well,
continue
the
the task.
distraction, yes,
Right.
you're easily
So
distracted.
yeah, so I need to be alone for like in intensive tasks.
Yes, but you like the attention once the task is done and everyone comes home and praises you for that.
No, I like that the thing is complete. I actually feel really
I
proud.
I don't like
I don't need
when
that.
what's so funny is when I started paying attention to the house and cleaning it and creating my own Monday I do this, Tuesday I do
Mhm.
that, and cleaning the house and actually making it just clean on a regular basis. Getting attention for that drove me bananas.
What do you mean you got attention for like
Because Claudio would say, "Oh, it looks really nice in here." Graziella would
and
say,
that bothered you?
"Yes."
What?
Because it should always just be like this. It should
But
always
what
just be clean.
but did it bother you that they were complimenting you but didn't contribute?
No, I didn't that didn't bother
I don't
me
understand how that bothers you.
because
You did a
in
great
my
job. Good job, Kelly. Why does that bother you?
head, The better in my head,
Uh-huh.
the better compliment is saying nothing because it's normal now.
That makes zero sense to me. What do you mean? Then people don't notice and don't give you gratitude for all
And
the
I'm
work you
okay.
did.
And I'm okay with that though. I don't care. I don't want the gratitude because it's the focus. I don't like the focus on me.
But not saying anything is literally a non-compliment, like zero
I'm okay
compliment.
with that. I don't like being complimented
Why not?
because I feel like being complimented puts me up front and makes me seen to a bunch of people. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like being the center of attention and I don't like being what people look at. So if I participate at 70%,
Mm-hmm.
nobody
No one's
looks
gonna
at
thank you for doing a great job.
nobody's gonna compliment the 70%.
Future employers, get this.
But here's the thing. You know
No.
what's so weird about actual work? Like
No,
I've been
yeah,
thinking
for
about
work, no.
I'm literally like a
Your work,
fucking horse.
You are.
A work horse.
You get stuff done like bam, bam,
Like I said,
bam,
like
bam.
in work, I have a to-do list and I fucking knock that shit out
do.
first thing in the morning. Like for me, it'll be interesting when I go back to work. If that happens.
Laughs maniacally. Evil? Evil? Was that an evil
there's
laugh?
a whole strike going on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, actors and
I know.
writers and all that good stuff. But eventually when I go back to work, it's going to be interesting to see how I participate in the day because my norm is to knock shit out in the morning so that when the fit hits the shan, I can tackle it right then and there. Like that's my thought process. So I'm never having to wait till the end of the day to do these menial little tasks that can just get out of the way right in the beginning.
Yeah, you're really
of the
good.
day.
Yeah,
Like I would rather leave my day because inevitably the fit hits the shan and you're like a maniac. So at least I don't have to worry about all that little stuff that's already done.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to turn off work. Like I could probably work 24/7. I mean, you saw me. I would be there till 4 in the morning sometimes if I didn't have that external cue to leave. Because I just get into it and then like, oh, and I can knock this out because I still have the energy and oh, and I can knock this out. I like that you can just like go in at 5, do the things and then leave.
Oh, but remember in my line of work though, even though we have two completely different type jobs, when I go back to work, it is 24/7. So,
right. So how do you like not work 24/7?
That is unfortunate. I don't know. That's my job.
What kind of boundaries can we put in place?
Honestly, when the strike is over, we'll see. But for now, the way television works is you work 24/7. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, well, I don't miss that part of the industry. I'll tell you that.
And it's fine. And this is what I know. And I'll make good money.
Maybe that's why I could work in the bakery so well because I was used to like, oh yeah, you just like sit there till 6 a.m. finishing a shoot, no problem, right? Like,
I mean, seriously, but this is more
off your face at the craft table,
right? But this is more like post production and everybody, coming at you from every direction that way. But that's fine. It's exciting and it's stupid all at the same time.
It's fine.
And
I think you're going to go back with so many more tools, though. You're going to understand things so much better.
Exactly. And I'll be able to handle things better. And maybe I'll decide that isn't what I want to do anymore.
So I want to circle back to your door because you know me, I like to dig.
My door?
Yeah, the door you painted. That made you feel really good that you did.
That's so funny.
100%.
I should have showed you. We can't pause this. And then, can we pause this?
Yeah, there's a pause button.
Do you want me to show you real quick?
There's a pause button right there. Yeah, show me. Let's do it. Let's go field trip.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's a little button there. It says pause.
Right?
Yeah. Hi. Welcome back to. Oh, we were just here. No,
we were back from our.
Only welcome back for us
from our field trip.
And
we just got back from our field trip, showing you
the lovely painted doors.
So
no, they're great. I think you did a wonderful job. Now, did my eyes go to every single little thing everywhere? Yeah. But you know what? I've also learned, which you helped me learn inside myself, that these high and extraordinary expectations I have for myself, I can't impose them on other people. No, they're not fair and they're not realistic, right? Because it's not like I don't make mistakes, right? And I rationalize those mistakes to myself, but that there's no reason to have that type of expectation of other people because we have different brains, and doing that kind of thing really discourages others from doing, especially if they're loved ones or people in your life. if you come down hard on people like that. And I used to come down so hard on you. And I remember like that one time, like it sticks out for me where I did that and I saw like how crushed you were. And it really changed something in me. And I was able to, from that moment, like really just let go
Mm-hmm.
and stop being a total bee about things and realize that it's not that important. The world's not going to end.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I still am, what's so funny? In certain aspects, I'm really hard on myself, which is, as I'm
Well, I
saying
think we
this,
all are. Yeah.
right, like work related stuff.
Mhm.
When I mess up at work, it
Oh,
like
yeah.
literally fucking tears me apart for
Oh,
like
I
a
die
day.
inside. Like
Yeah.
it takes me days to
It's like,
recover. Days,
and here's the thing,
weeks
I
sometimes.
feel like I've let so many people down in the grand scheme of things.
Doesn't matter.
No.
No, no one
And
cares. No one remembers.
and this is what I'm hoping when I go back to work. I honestly, because I want to see how I react when I fuck up, because I will fuck up. It's inevitable. And because you can't learn if you don't make mistakes, but I want to see how I deal with it internally at work. When I'm at home making mistakes, I will feel guilty, but I can get over it quicker. But I haven't been at work yet to see how I'll react to mistakes.
Well, I think you're going to still have those same reactions. I don't think that's going to change. I think what's going to change is what you do after
Right.
that reaction. I think because you've gained so much more self-awareness and you're building strategies, I think you'll understand, oh, this is happening to me right now. I could
Yeah, I hope
scream
so. Yeah.
or just take a moment and really reflect on what's actually happening. And I think this podcast, for me at least, is really changing a lot of those
Yeah.
out. So don't expect to not experience those things because
Right.
that's unrealistic, right? That
Right.
your emotions are valid and we're going to have much more easily dysregulated brains emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how ADHD is. We have this really quick dysregulated limbic system, but there is a way to come back from that, right? So
Exactly.
and that's really what has to be the thing you hold on to is there's a
Mhm.
way back. So just because you're experiencing this big feeling doesn't mean it has to get out of control and you lose your mind. You can actually take part in what happens after that, and you can do some things to control the
Mhm.
degree that occurs at. I had this thought before I started talking, and that went away, and it was good.
Mhm.
Oh, it came back. Hi, thought.
Yay.
Oh, thanks for coming back. Oh, I'm
Oh,
so
that's so
glad.
nice.
So you're talking about mistakes and how people don't really like, it's not as big of a deal as you thought it was. And what I learned is that, yeah, mistakes aren't that big of a deal necessarily. What is a big deal and what people will not forgive you for is being late or turning stuff in late. That seems to be a universal, like, anger making thing. And, because it disrespects their time, it makes them feel like you didn't think about their need or that you just don't care. And so that's something I've worked really hard to not be late on reports and appointments and things like that, because that seems to be the one thing you you can't fix. People will always remember that you're late. And so
Mhm.
for those of us who have this tremendous difficulty with
Mhm.
time, there have to be a lot of systems in place, which also includes saying no
Yes.
to new jobs or new
Yes.
projects
Yes.
if you have X amount on the
Yes.
plate, which I never used to. I'd just be like, yeah,
No.
next,
And I
next.
think
Yeah.
that's probably what made me the
It
most
compounded that so
angry
bad.
at the bakery,
I would just say yes
just
to
never
everything, right?
saying no. And it just in my head, I was like,
Leti, you can't
you're
be in
one
two plates.
person. I can't like
We can't deliver 3
no.
weddings in a day.
It's not gonna happen.
Setting up
Then
3.
we have, our friends coming and helping us deliver things,
Mhm. Or
and
me driving back from Malibu to Encino to pick up 2 dozen tarts that we forgot off the dessert table.
uh-huh.
And that was the one that they really wanted, like,
Mhm.
because we're rushing, right?
Mhm.
That rushing to complete. And then when you're rushing to complete, your work is obviously going to suffer, right?
And yeah, and it's just yeah,
So
it's a
like,
really tough thing
yeah.
to work on.
Yeah. So for me, with my line of work, being a speech pathologist, there's a couple of things that I've put in place. And, I think anyone who kind of has like these reporting deadlines or project deadlines, maybe they'll benefit from that. But I have a running spreadsheet of the tasks, which for me are people, and
Right.
when their authorizations expire, when those reports need to be put in, and then so that there's that due date. But I have an extra column on my spreadsheet that's about 2 weeks prior to that due date. That's my internal due date to start gathering all the information
Hmm.
and all the things I need to be able to get that report done in the next 2 weeks in case they don't show up because they're sick and I can't get that data or anything like that. I give myself a little window to start that project early. So I think for those of us with ADHD, with time issues and lateness, you cannot look at a due date and make that your personal due date. You have to change to a 2 week or a 1 week
So
prior
true.
due date to ensure that you have a little wiggle room for whatever life throws at you, whether you get a car accident, you get a cold, you got to go deal with your kids' things, or whatever it is, because apparently that happens all the time and you can't say it's not going to happen. You have to think about that.
Hmm.
And that has helped me tremendously to really be not late on those. And then I have little alerts that kind of keep me going. And then I copy that into a daily agenda. I run a physical written agenda because the act of writing it out, that motor task,
Hmm.
engages my brain's motor strip, and that engages more places in my brain being active for
Hmm.
that particular task. So I'm
Hmm.
more likely to have it be on my register and remember it. So the more ways you can kind of stimulate your brain towards an activity, the more likely you are to recall that event.
I have this,
What do you do?
I
Yeah.
use spreadsheets at work all the time because I have so many series of dates for each particular show has a series of dates, due dates. So I always have a spreadsheet showing all those due dates, but I mean, I can't tell you. I've always done this and it must have been
But what about people who
something I
don't?
knew.
What about people who don't have that in their life?
I don't know, but I just know years and years and years ago, I started these spreadsheets because I had to predate things for myself.
You recognize that that was
But
a
I think
thing.
it was me going, I'm going to predate this shit so I get this fucking shit done faster. You know what I mean? Like in my head,
That way no one can say,
right, that I'm not,
look at you
yeah,
and
right. Like
say,
nobody's going to know that I'm going to do this 2 days before. You know what I mean? Like I do
oh, I
stuff like
send
that.
out reports early, but I put it on the send later, right? So like a schedule send.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do that
So, I
too.
mean,
Yeah,
that's
because I don't want people
something.
to think I'm doing things early. I don't know why.
Right, and I have that's just kind of that's something that's always been in my life only because like you juggling, I have to juggle when you have to juggle four different shows doing, 25 things at once for each show, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a
But if
lot.
I have a spreadsheet for each show telling me I need to don't forget to do this then and do this then and do this then, I mean, it just makes my life like perfect. So in the mornings, I come in and I look at my written to-do list because that gets written every day as I'm working. I finish something, I'll pre-book 5 days out. Don't forget to do this. So if
Hmm.
you look at my
Yeah, I have
thing,
like,
I the pages are filled because I've pre-done everything or pre-booked it so that I don't forget it.
catch a show at 11:30 where Kelly's pre-done.
I'm always pre-done.
Yeah, so I
Good
think,
Lord.
you know, we need to also think about for those of us who don't operate with technology, what are some things you can do to help this system or create a system? Because post-its don't work. Like they just,
I honest to God,
my
I just use
post-its have post-its.
and it
It-
doesn't work.
no, but for those of us that don't do technology, right? What can they do?
This is my favorite. I use something that isn't technology.
Right. You said
It's a
it.
notebook.
Yeah,
For
like
some reason,
I
I
think the bullet journals are
no
awesome.
journal. No. It is a notebook, not even 8.5 by 11. What's small? What's the next size down?
Smaller.
Smaller than
Classic
5
size.
by 7.
Compact size.
Okay. 5 by 7 notebook, lined paper. That's it.
Like a little journal.
Yeah. And it's just dated at the top and it has your to-do list. That's it. Just take.
Yeah.
And for me,
Like
and
composition notebooks are good to like that and things like that.
But small, not big because that seems too overwhelming.
You can't carry it around with you. It's too big. It has to fit in the purse, like lightly though.
But here's the other thing that I do.
And you have to be able to find it. So it needs to be a really bright color.
No, this is the other thing. This is only my crazy brain.
Tell me about your crazy brain.
I can only use one sheet of paper a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if I fill up the front and the back, there's no more paper for me to use.
Wait, what?
So all my tasks.
Oh, that's a really neat rule you have.
All my tasks have to fit on the front.
But what if you have more tasks because your brain keeps thinking about new tasks? Where do you put that?
I pre-book out and go, oh, okay, I'll do that task tomorrow. Yes.
Oh,
so you have your dates. Like I said, I my little teeny tiny notebook is dated 2 weeks out, and there's like shit in all those 2 weeks.
Conundrum. You filled out your page, then you remember a task that actually has to be done today, but there's no more room on your page. What do? Do you take like one of the tasks and pop it forward?
Correct.
That isn't urgent.
You cross that out, push it forward, and put that task in.
Interesting. Yeah. I crossed it out. It's done. I don't have to think about it again.
Well, you can't do that. But in order for... And
I use arrows. I use an arrow for any task I'm forwarding to the next day. I put an arrow next to it so that I know I've attended to that task, but that it got pushed forward.
And then for me, I check the task off when it's done, but I also have to cross the check in order to know it's
done.
Really done.
Correct. Okay, so
if there's not a cross check on a check, I have to go back and look and see if I finished it.
Well, that sounds like 100% kind of task, Kelly. You're a 100%er. I don't know what makes you think you're not. What makes you think you're a 70%er?
It's just with work, though, Leti.
But
literally just with
work is a big part of your day. You don't have to 100% the rest of the things. What are you 70%ing? I don't get it.
Everything else in my life.
What?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, I think you think so.
When I actually have to point out a task, I think that's when it becomes a 70%er.
I don't think you complete it 70%. I don't think you do a crappy job. I don't think you leave half dusted. I don't think you...
It's not half. It's enough to be okay, but not enough to be perfect. It's enough to be fine.
No, I think you're 100%er. Nope. You are 100
to be fine. I don't need to be more than fine.
But that's the thing.
I don't.
Your level of perfect is more
low.
No, it is 110% because you think you're doing 70% work, but you're actually doing 100%.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Ha ha, caught you. Ha ha. You're one of us. Nope. I disagree because I don't see.
But those jobs that I say are 70% I can even look at them and know they're not 100%.
That's because you want it to be 110%. And you think you didn't get there.
So then why am I okay with thinking I'm a 70%er?
Because that's the only way you can rationalize the fact that you didn't get it to that level.
True. So it doesn't disappoint me.
So it doesn't hurt and make you bleed inside.
I don't want to get hurt.
Kelly.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the 110% club.
I hate you. I don't like this club and I want out. This is not a cool club. This is a geek club. I am not going to be a part of it.
You're one of us.
No. I refuse.
Come back to our 11:30 show where you can be 70% and it's okay.
Oh, God.
What a trip.
I hate you.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Like
I love you.
You not nice lady. I don't like you. Okay.
Well,
now this is time for me to sign off
and let you sit with those thoughts.
Great.
And ruin you again.
Great. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Now Kelly has to go fucking figure out life again.
Call your therapist.
Literally, I should be like a guru by the end of this stupid podcast.
Oh,
Honestly,
a guru
like,
that
this is
snorts only,
stupid.
though.
I just need
What
to.
this tells me is that you're great
Okay.
and you're awesome.
Well, it's it's kind of cool to figure this shit out.
It is. And it also goes a long way to show us how skewed our perception is of our own selves.
Isn't that wild?
And that
I'm
it's
really 100%er,
that
but
you have to
I
kind of dig
just
to
don't
figure
want
that
to
out.
be. Mhm.
Yeah, because
Or I
you
don't want to be known as.
no, those are, I think, defense mechanisms. I think
Yeah.
all of that's in place to help you operate at this level to not have this dissonance
Right.
between what you think should be done and
Mhm.
what you're actually doing,
Mhm.
which is still great. It just doesn't feel like it's at that level because you want it to be 110.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I
All
just
right.
recognize that it needs to be 110. So I either do it or don't do it if it can't be there. Whereas you actually started and do it. So you're better than me.
Shut up, but
You're
I'm
better
not.
than me. You are better than me.
You're better than me.
Wait, that's not the taunt. Wait, is it backwards? I'm taunting wrong.
Annie, you're better than me.
Well,
Well, thank you for joining us.
WTH ADHD.
WTA.
Enjoy your perfectionism streak.
But
Start the
don't,
task.
freak out over your perfection
Tell
streak.
yourself that 70% is better than no percent.
I think so.
I think so too. So start that task, whatever that may be.
Start it.
Just start it.
Just grab
Get
one
it to
dish.
50%.
Just pick
to
up one
50.
dish. Just one dish.
There's only one dish.
That's it. There's only one dish.
Because that's the only thing you can be
There's
present for.
only one dish.
There is only one dish and one sock.
And one sock.
Well, maybe a pair. Well, no, there's just one sock because God damn it,
Yes.
the
'cause
dryer
God
took
damn
another
it.
one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, thank you for playing with us. See you at 11:30. Bye.
Bye. This has been a Hi It's Me ADHD production.